Inaugurating the National Coordination Platform in Abuja, the Director, Economic Service, Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, Mr. Idris Mohammed, who represents the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Women Affairs, Engineer Adebiyi Olusesan Olufunsho, urged the members to ensure the aim is achievable. Also speaking, the VAPP coordinator and stakeholders of the organization, Mrs. Ene Ede, thanked EU-UN Spotlight Initiative for making the day a reality.
I was very eager to see it out, and many other stakeholders have been asking me, when will this be out? You can see how important this tool is. NAPTIP, that is the lead of VAP implementation in Nigeria, we just want to align with everybody here, the earlier conversations, and say, look, we have opportunity to step up prosecution. We've been told by UN Women that 10 out of 10 incidences get only reported by one person. 10 incidences and one person. So if you look at the indices, the information at the SAC, all the data are not good enough. The data we have, the statistics we have is not good enough for now. That's why NAPTIP is committed to having enhanced partnership, proper coordination, such that there will be great opportunity for increased convictions. And with a tool like this, it is easier to hold every stakeholder accountable. It means it's a call to action. So NAPTIP is expressing its commitment to lead as the administrator in Nigeria. That's the VAP administrator in Nigeria.
Esme Stuart, Project Manager, Human Rights and Gender Democracy, Governance and Migration Section, promised all the technical support from European Union against gender-based violence.
Period, with a lot of activities. And I would like to thank the Ministry of Women Affairs for leading us in this active program, kicking it off with the press briefing exactly 1 week ago. I would like to thank as well the UN partners who work under the EU-UN Spotlight Initiative. But I would also like to thank everyone in the room who has been active, who has been organizing things at different levels, and everyone basically who has been speaking out against gender-based violence. Now, the EU-UN Spotlight Initiative was launched a few years ago, and it's the largest effort in the world to eliminate all forms of gender-based violence. And we are very happy that Nigeria is one of the countries where this initiative is implemented. Nigeria is one among 35 countries where Spotlight is active. And we feel that this is a very, very pertinent activity because of the levels of gender-based violence that we see in Nigeria, but across the world. Even in Europe, we're not yet there in terms of eradicating gender-based violence. And in my country, in the Netherlands, I looked up the figures, and 50% of all women and girls have experienced physical or sexual violence in my country as well. So we're really not yet there. And we need a consolidated effort. So one of the main reasons for launching the Spotlight Initiative was really to bring together all actors, the EU and the UN, but also all national partners, Ministry of Women Affairs in the first place, Ministry of Justice, Health, and all other actors playing a role. Most importantly, Spotlight focuses as well on working together with civil society. And I think this kind of consolidated effort is the only way in which we can really make sure that we eliminate violence against women and girls. So in that vein, I think today's meeting will be very interesting to learn more about the accountability framework and see how we can make sure that each and every actor actually plays that role that we expect them to play.
Her part, Mrs. Ndubisi Onyenye, Program Analysis, Gender and Human Rights, HIV and AIDS, UNDP pledged the support of UNDP to partner with the organization to strengthen institutions, policies, and data availability to end violence against women and girls.
We will go on to ensure that the actions are well noted and taken, and that stakeholders that are meant to do any part of that activity, we will ensure they do it. I need both to say that we are not sleeping, we are watching. And while we are watching, we are developing more innovative modality on how to ensure that the voices of women are not hidden under, but yet the voices of women are heard. And at this time, and with the commemoration of the 16 days activism and the work we've done so far, we want to say thank you. We want to say thank you for every actor that has put their legs down to ensure that women and girls in Nigeria have their life back. But I want to also use this platform to make an appeal. 2023 is coming very soon. We do not have women in Nigerian participation in election. We want to have more women coming out. And this is a call to all of us. CSOs working in diverse areas, trying to ensure that women are the front run of what makes or has direct impact in their lives, in their communities, in their states, and of course, the greater Nigeria we want to see. It is that time to take a bold step. Integrate a message in your activity. Tell women the country cannot stand without them. Nobody helps to make favorable policies for women if women are not on the table. So let me make that call, and thank you for this coordination platform. We'll use it to drive the message back to the grassroots. We are going to triangulate every action needed to make it happen. We will go beyond our elasticity of pressure to ensure that things do not remain the way it is. If I can vouch that I can do it, I'm sure everyone can vouch. And if you can vouch, raise your hand and say, I'm vouching to make Nigeria better for women.
There are also goodwill messages from UNDP participants and well-wishers.
Stakeholders are involved in the GBV response in Nigeria. Accordingly, therefore, there is a need to establish a national gender-based violence working group as a coordinating body to strengthen and enhance the efforts and activities of stakeholders in the country. The Gender-Based Violence Technical Working Group will coordinate and support the activities of all relevant stakeholders in response to GBV in Nigeria. The GBV Working Group recognizes that there might be different contextual factors that will guide the priorities and strategies in the country, and that these strategies should be determined at field level with the support and guidance of the working group in Nigeria. The draft terms of reference for this and the structure and the governance structure will be shared with all the stakeholders to review and get back to us with your feedbacks. On this note, I want to use this opportunity to welcome all of us and to say that we are really very happy to see this day, and we are very happy to see that history is about to be made with the document we shall be unveiling. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, and we are welcome. Of principles that we identified, the principles of inclusion, the principle of survivor-centered approach, and then interagency collaboration and non-discrimination. These were debated by all the stakeholders involved, and I agree that this should guide the work. And for particularly in terms of the interagency collaboration, I think one of the speakers, Ene, had referred to this, that we sort of compete amongst ourselves. So many persons are doing so many things on the same issue, and it seems sometimes we are duplicating efforts, we are not sharing resources, we are not sharing knowledge, we are not sharing all of these issues, and it makes us to seem to be working against each other or being counterproductive. And we agree that if we want to, we must recognize that addressing LGBTQ is not about one person's business, and no one person can solve the problem. So we must recognize that every actor is important, and therefore we must leverage knowledge, we must leverage intelligence to be able to respond to LGBT.
Still have the great honor to also tell you that I wear, if not two caps, three caps. The other bigger cap has to do with my honorable minister, the global fighter of gender-based violence, who at the moment is at National War College as we speak, on the second conference on gender, women, peace and security. So she also would have loved to be here, but all the same, they are all here in spirit, and their blessings are with our gatherings here. I feel highly honored to be part of this epoch-making event today. As we are all aware, gender-based violence has been a very serious scourge, great concern to all of us. It impacts negatively on women, girls, and of course the children. And the unveiling of this important document today will serve as a very strong base in making the laws, if not completely, the eradication of gender-based violence in Nigeria, and with the crop of soldiers we have around the table. I say group of soldiers that cut across very strong men, women, and committed forces I can see around. I want to believe that the lip service we've been paying to gender-based violence will soon be a thing of the past. On this note, I have the privilege and honor to unveil this important document in the name of God. Amen. And benefit of humanity.
Wow, can we clap for him?
This is awesome, amazing. The colors, everything around it speaks loud, right? Yes, the next thing is to action it and ensure we use it to do the work we are committed to do, right? Yeah. Thank you so much, and we appreciate them as they walk out to the... And when we don't go in the have you captured this moment for us?
So I'm Esme Stewart from the EU delegation to Nigeria, and I work specifically on the EU-UN Spotlight Initiative. Now the Spotlight Initiative is a global program currently active in 34 countries, and we're very happy that Nigeria is one of the countries where Spotlight is being implemented. So today's meeting is part of the 16 Days of Activism campaign against gender-based violence. It runs from 25 November to 10 December. And we have a lineup of activities to raise awareness on gender-based violence. But we are also meeting with actors to make sure that whatever happens is being coordinated. Today's meeting is about the National Accountability Framework on Gender-Based Violence, launched by the EU-UN Spotlight Initiative, and it makes sure that we know which stakeholders are responsible for what responses as part of GBV cases, and it also makes sure that we can hold them accountable to make sure that they actually implement their duties.
My name is Sonia Ndubisi. I work for UNDP. Primarily I'm the gender and human rights analyst at UNDP. And particularly on Spotlight project, I am the Spotlight project manager. Spotlight has been implemented by 4 agencies, or 5 agencies, which is UNDP, UNFPA, UN Women, UNESCO, and UNICEF. And under UNDP implementation, Spotlight has 6 pillars. Pillar 1 is talking about legal and policy. Pillar 2 is talking about institutional support. Pillar 3 is talking about norms. Pillar 4 is services. 5 is data, and 6 is supporting women. But for UNDP, we are focusing on leading on Pillar 1, which is legal and policy. Pillar 2, institutional support. Pillar 5, which is data. and of course contributing to all the data. And then let me start with saying that gender-based violence cannot be eradicated without lifting poverty within women and girls. It can also not be eradicated without education. Education can be formal or informal. Under UNDP intervention, we are starting with reviewing policies that serves the interest of women and girls. Policies that we see that are giving us bottlenecks to implement, even at the grassroots level. We're unbundling it for people to better understand how to, put the policy into action. It's not enough to develop policy, but it's enough for my grandmother in the village to understand what the policy says. And that is how UNDP is unbundling those policies. And UNDP is working with several partners like Fred that is here to also anchor on that. In terms of legal support, just 2 days ago in Ebonyi State, the government of Ebonyi State, in collaboration with Spotlight Initiative under UNDP implementation with the Ministry of Justice, the Commissioner of Police, that's Nigerian Police Force, and also the GBV State Task Force of Ebonyi, signed off a memorandum of agreement. Why did we do that? As we're talking about accountability framework, we can see that one person alone cannot eradicate GBV. There has to be a collaborative effort. That means from the GBV task force that is located at the grassroots, to the policeman in every police station, to the Ministry of Justice, to the Women Affairs that pushes the case and leads on that process, everyone comes together on the table to ensure that there is transparency in handling of GBV cases.
My name is Tasi Kuhe. I'm the Gender and Inclusion Specialist for USAID Nigeria. So today I just wanted to be a part of this event to wish the government of Nigeria well and to congratulate the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs for the good work that they have done so far in the production of these national guidelines. The work we do in gender will be totally impossible without guidelines, without some kind of guidance to say this is what we're supposed to be doing and how we should do it. These guidelines and this accountability framework is very important in the work that we do. With this accountability framework, we are able to communicate with each other clearly about what expectations we have as organizations towards the government and from the government towards organizations, as well as everyone else who is engaged in the work of gender-based violence prevention and response in Nigeria. For it to be launched during the 16 days of gender-based violence activism is a landmark opportunity to speak against gender-based violence, which is why I'm here today.
From Abuja, Comfort Olayinka, Daji TV News.